Hey there everyone, welcome back to GameBind, and my name is Dave, and today we gotta save Skulk Hollow from the likes of these giants. Let's do it. So Skulk Hollow is from a company that I just heard about called Pencil First Games, and this is also a reviewer or a YouTuber more of Eduardo, and I've actually watched his channel for a while, but this slipped by me for some reason. So think of Shadow of Colossus and the Disney Fox movie of Robin Hood, or better yet, the fantastical Mr. Fox, and mash both of those concepts together. Well, that will give you Skulk Hollow. You are these foxen little creatures that have asymmetrical abilities counter to the Colossus big giant that you're fighting, which is played by another player. This is just a two-player game, which is right up my alley, but the art on the cover does vary from the art that's actually inside the box. Speaking of what's in this box, this might look small, but it houses quite a bit. Let me show you. And this is what you get in the box. Wow, now this is a board game. Now, I am impressed when there are a whole bunch of miniatures, but when I think board game, I think cardboard, sorry camera, and I think wood. And that is what you get in this, and you get it in abundance. You even get little tuck boxes where you can tuck it away. Look at these. These are the actual boards for the giant behemoths that you're going to be playing, and each one is unique and different. The cardboard test, let's go ahead and do that right now. I mean, it's got to be good. Yeah, it's like 3 tiers. I mean, I'm just blown away. Even the insert tells you where to put things back when you do that. Let me show you some of the cool meeples up close. Oh my god, they're about as big as my hand. I mean, I am just blown away. How have I not heard about this game? And even the little tiny foxens that are here in the heart, meeples, sorry camera, I keep bumping the camera today, are so cool. I would say the lowest quality bit is these cubes more of, but those are even really nice. I mean, this is just stellar, blowing my mind. Now, one of the coolest things I like are the tentacles meeples. 10 eeples. I've never seen anybody do a meeple of it before, but it's so great. Look at these meeples. I mean, you're not doing too much, you are kind of moving them, so it is just aesthetically pleasing. And so now the cards have so much art on them. They're decent quality. I would say the one gripe that I have are the cards are not linen finish, but that is such a minor quibble. I don't even care if you're going to provide me with such quality and massive amount of bits here. Now, the board is double-sided to whatever you prefer. If you want to really see the lines, or you have the quadrants that are just kind of outlined slightly for a more cleaner look, but I am just so impressed. I don't spend this much time showing off the bits here, but I had to on this one. Okay, now let me show you how to actually play this two-player game. So this is the game setup. Like I said, it's only for 2 players. 1 player is going to take control of the monster, and 1 player is going to take control of a foxen. There are multiple of each one, so variation and replayability in that sense. Now, it does say on your first game to play with this big bear rock guy or the king foxen, but my favorite hero is the healer, and my favorite monster is the octopus. So I'm going to show you how to play those two. Now, setup is quite easy. You're going to put your fox guy up here, and then you're going to get a sentinel that is going to be helping you. So it's important to stick together, and I'll let you know why a little later. Now, the octopus, the winning goal of his is to have all of his root tokens on the board. Once that happens, he wins. And the goal of the foxen is to damage all of these heart tokens, which you can either put on the board like I did and flip them over, or put them on the board when you actually hit them. But once you take down all those heart tokens, you win. So the game is really simple. The fox player is going to take their turn, and then the monster will take their turn. What they're doing is the amount of actions that they have on their card, which will be displayed right here. So you have a card that keeps your health and power, and it says your special power and your hand size and the amount of actions that you're going to actually be doing. And each one of the monsters has the same thing as well. So hand size, amount of actions that they'll be doing. So the healer here, she'll be able to spend a power to heal 1 wound, which is important because if your leader ever dies, that is another win stipulation for the monster. So each player will draw up to their hand size, and each one of these cards does something a little different. Some cards have 2 different options. You can only do one. A melee attack, of course, is something that you can do to hit the monster if you're in a spot, or you can use it for its power, which this is how you get cubes. You put the power into your pool here and then delegate it at the very end of your turn, and then anything left in your pool will go away. But these little things here allow you to do an extra action, play another card, and just do extra things. Now you can also play more foxens to your team, and then you would grab the corresponding token and place it on the board right here. And each foxen has a way that they can attack. Now they can either attack melee or missile, and or they can leap. They have these abilities. Now let me go over to other cards that the foxen has to kind of describe that more. So when you are playing a missile attack, like I said, the melee attack, you have to do it when you're on the actual monster. But you can do a missile attack if you're adjacent to the monster spot. So if the monster were right here and adjacent is diagonal or next to, so if you're in the middle of the board, you're basically touching every spot. You can play a missile and target any spot that you want on the monster, which is pretty nice. But again, your foxen has to have the ability to do so. And the leap action is if you're next to the monster right here in the same spot, you can play a leap card, which will basically take you over to the board, which is so cool. The theme is just dripping on this game. Now when you want to move on the guardian, you play a leap card and you'll be able to move to the next location, or you can play a leap card to leap off of the guardian if you want to. So on a foxen's turn, he'll be able to play basically 3 actions or 3 cards, and then he'll do the cleanup stage, which is basically discard any cards that he played and draw back up to a hand of 5. Or if you have 5 or more, you'll draw 1 card. Now the other action you can do is discard a card to draw 2 cards. Now if there's ever a time where you have to draw a card and you don't have a deck, just shuffle your discard pile. And all this is described on the card, which is brilliant. I mean, it's just makes me so happy. That's essentially what you're trying to do. You're moving around the board and you're trying to attack the octopus and take him down. The one last thing, because the octopus is on board, he's trying to put his root tokens down. You would have to get next to these and play a melee attack in order to knock these down. Now, they do 1 damage to a person if they are triggered, so you want to make sure you take them down quick. You can only move by playing cards that have arrows right here, and you can move it in the directions that they have. So the board's always going to be in this direction, so if I play this card while I'm on the board, I can move this way. So once I do 3 actions, then it's the monster turn, and they do the same thing according to their action set. Okay, so the monster also has a move option up top here, or you can use it for the abilities. Now, tunneling here just basically allows you to put one of these tokens out here. The goal of the monster, again, is to get all of his tokens out. Once that happens, he wins. Now, shock is kind of attack. Like I said, shock is going to affect anybody that is near the monster or adjacent to him. So basically, if he's in the middle, he's going to shock the whole board and do 1 damage to every foxen that he is adjacent to. And the pull option is just basically if he wants to pull some foxen to him. And then the crush token is when they are in a tentacle space and they get 1 damage hit to them because the tentacle was wrapping around them. And then you have a mend option, which heals 1 wound token from the octopus. Now he doesn't have a toss action, which some of the monsters do. When a foxen is actually on him, some of the monsters can toss them off, but once you're on this guy, you're on him until you either beat him or jump off on yourself. Now I just wanted to get a little closer for a second. As you can see, each one of these limbs has a name on it that is associated with one of the cards of the monster. And once you flipped over both of the hearts, the monster can no longer use that type of card or power more of. So tunnel is no longer an option, and shock and pull and crush will be one of those things that would go down next. And the monster can do basically everything that the foxens can do when it comes to the turn: play the action cards, discard, and draw up, and he draws up to his hand. So that kind of back and forth happens until the end stipulation is accomplished. There's one thing that I didn't mention. Like I said, the leader, if it gets knocked out, is another end stipulation. But if a foxen of like another type, like a sentinel or this knight here, were to be next to the leader, they are banded, which essentially means the lesser unit is tanking for the healer. So nothing can get through damage or any kind of actions until the lesser unit either gets tossed away or gets knocked out, and then you can proceed to do damage on the leader. But that's essentially it. There are a few different variants that I'm not going to go over. These are for people who want a handicap. They basically give you another kind of action, but that's how you play the game. Like I said, the other monsters have end stipulations. This guy right here, he just wants to knock out everybody. This one right here wants to knock out the lesser units, and this guy wants to get everything out when it comes to his little tokens. So that's pretty much it. Now let me tell you what I think about this game and give it a grade. Let's go. That is how you play Skulk Hollow, with a few exceptions. I didn't give you all the roles. Like every fox does have a unique power, and there might be one or two things that I missed, like there can only be a certain amount of foxen in every spot on the colossal giant, things like that. But I love this game so much. This is shooting straight up into my top 10. I think at least maybe my number 6. It gets a 92 for me, and it gets 2 thumbs up top player award from Gamevine. I love this game, and I can't believe it passed by me. Shadow of Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time. I played it 2 different times, a regular version and an HD version, and loved it both times. And this just invokes those kind of memories for me, which are so great and nostalgic. But it does what I love from a board game. There doesn't have to be this extravagant number of miniatures, though I do, like I said, like miniatures. This is a board game. The giants are a board that you're climbing up. The pieces are wooden. So those are the 2 components that I think of when I picture a board game. And I even want to do a spice up your life kind of thing. Maybe put a metal back onto each one of the monster components, or get 2 magnets and glue one onto little foxen characters so I can have the giants stand upright and scale them up that way. Oh, that would be so cool. But I just love this game. I want more of it. There's actually going to be an expansion coming out, I think in 2021, and I'm backing it absolutely. But I just want more of this. There's just a few things that I have a kind of dislike for it. One is I can't play more than 2 players, though I love the 2-player aspect. Going back and forth makes it real fast, makes it real simple. This game is really easy to teach. It is a mouthful. There's a lot of things going on, but once you grasp it, it's just let's go and bust this out and do like 2 or 3 games, because that's what I've done. I've played like 10 games since I've got this, and I got like a week ago. I played 2 even by myself, playing a monster and a fox, and I'm in love with this game right now. But I need to talk about things that I don't like. The cover is great, but it does kind of clash with the actual art in the box, though again, that's a minor quibble. And the linen finish on the cards would have been nice, but these are just things that I'm nitpicking. Just these little things that kept it from being a 10, but this is a spectacular game. I'm recommending it for any of my viewers. Our demographic leans in the middle of casual and heavy gamer, and this is perfect for that slot. If you're a 2-player enthusiast, this is going to hit that itch. If you like Shadow of Colossus, heck yeah, get this. So pretty much what I'm saying is this is staying on my shelf. Now, as a disclaimer, this was a review copy that was sent to me from Pencil First Game. Thank you so much for helping us channel grow and helping me find one of my favorite top 10 games of all time, which that is saying something. So thank you so much, Vine Nation, for tuning in to this review. I hope it was informational. If you want to pick up this game, there's going to be a link down below. And if you haven't already, click a like and subscribe. And until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all the giants that you scale and play with. Hey, that works. Bye, everybody. I'm out. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.